I'm going to hold your hand when I say this. Do not be afraid to start over. I know we are stepping into 2026 in a few short weeks here, and something that I really want you to do is sit with yourself and ask yourself, how do I desire this next year to be? What do I want to experience? And be honest about that, because when you create from a place of identity awareness, you're allowing yourself to really walk into and experience the life that you want to have because you're being honest with yourself. And I'm not talking creating from a place of survival mode. I'm not talking creating from a place of people pleasing. I'm not talking creating from a place of being complacent, or sometimes we, end up in situations because we've gotten comfortable and we let somebody else's dream or reality become ours. No, no, no. When you sit down, be honest with yourself and do not be afraid to start over. I went on a tangent earlier today on TikTok. I just was not expecting to go here, but I was driving down the street to my hair appointment. Ding. And it just hit me like I am a woman that has started over many times. I have lived in 3 different states between Atlanta, Michigan, where I'm from, Charlotte, North Carolina. And I am not above starting over, and I am not above building a new community and creating new connections wherever I go. And this really just came from the place of I was thinking, telling you what I plan to do too is actually sit down in these next couple days, probably tomorrow, and just write out, what do I desire? I've learned to focus on the feeling. And if I can encourage you, focus on the feeling that you want to have, because sometimes if you reverse engineer the path to get to the goal that you want to reach, it's typically based off of how you want to feel. Most people are working jobs that they don't love, but they want to feel freedom. So, how can we focus on getting you to a place of feeling free? And what does freedom look like? Does it look like matching your income and still keeping that job? Does it look like, creating another source, leaving that job? What does freedom look like for you? So, when you focus on how you want to feel first, you can easily guide yourself to the journey that you want to experience in reality and work towards it. So when I moved to Charlotte, that was a blind move. I knew 2 people, never been there a day in my life, but I knew it was exactly where I was supposed to be. When I moved to Atlanta initially, I knew a handful of people, but I knew it was exactly where I was supposed to be. Obviously, being in Michigan is where I'm from. But I say all that to say, like, the desire, the life that Renee is starting to want to experience and create for herself, I am finally allowing myself to do that and be honest and not play small. For some reason, in the past, I've allowed myself to shrink to take on an environment that wasn't really the way that I wanted to live. Or if it was a circumstantial situation, right? Like, I've lived with my grandma before for some time. So I just kind of, I don't know, I just got comfortable with being in her place, even though her place didn't fully feel like my place. And I never took the initiative to make it feel like my place too, to like make my room feel like me. I was surrounded around boxes and stuff like that. So I was kind of working around things. And as I've just gotten older, I'm like, okay, what do I want? And I don't want to play small. Let me be honest about it. Like, and some of these things may feel lofty. They may feel uncomfortable because if it's outside of my normal comfort zone, what I'm used to, then that means it's calling me to stretch. It's calling me to grow. It's calling me to expand. And what is life calling you to expand in? Where do you need to create elevation? Where do you need to maybe create your exposure, expand your exposure to expand your elevation? That's something to really sit with. I started touring like open houses a couple months ago, actually, for a contractor that was known to do these houses kind of all over the US. And I just wanted to be in the building. I just wanted to be in the room. I mean, I'm not buying this condo today, but to just be in that space to see, what does this multi-million-dollar house look like? What does it feel like? What does this, high 6-figure condo look like? And to allow myself to embody and embrace that, to give myself permission, like, okay, if I want that one day, I'm going to work towards it. But as I am just being in more of a relationship with myself, I'm realizing that my interests, my desires have changed so much. It is crazy. I value my time so much more. I value relationships. I value freedom of my time. I value friendships. I value being there for people in their special moments and not missing them. I love traveling. I love the experiences. I am not heavy on the material things. I don't really care about like cars and trucks and stuff. Those things, it's just different. I love nature. I love a good wellness retreat. Like I love a good spa experience. I spend my money on experiences, and I love that a lot. I love trying new things and checking off my bucket list and new hobbies. I literally did a body lotion making class yesterday. I'm so excited about it. I met five amazing ladies. Mind you, they're all like 50, 55 and up. I love being around older women. Like, I just have a time and they love me. They love me. And I love the back. Like, I love hanging out with older women, especially women that are welcoming and open and, they greet you and embrace you. And it's just, the conversation just flows. We have such a good time. But that was something I got to check off my list. And I was like, wow, this is so crazy how I'm just, when you sit with when you journal, and then you can sit with the patterns that you notice about yourself, and then you start to piece the patterns together. And then it's like you finally give yourself permission to be like, yeah, I am from the country, or yeah, I am a country girl. Yeah, the city is cool, but I really am a country girl. Like you just start to give yourself permission about things that you learn about yourself, and it's so invigorating. Like it's such a beautiful experience to start connecting with the real you, especially if you've had like this facade of you for such a long time, or this mask of like thinking that you got to be such a perfectionist, thinking that you had to be this chameleon, any room that you were placed in, thinking that you had to like something for the sake because somebody else liked it and it just really wasn't your vibe. Like you have power in your voice, you have power in your being. And when you start to connect with yourself, you get your power back, you get your confidence back, you actually get your true identity back, and you can walk around and be quirky and silly and goofy, and just be who you are. So and joyful. So yeah, that was like one of my thoughts today, one of my tangents that I just wanted to share with you guys. So just as you're starting to plan this year, if I could leave you with anything, I would really leave you with like, get honest about how do you want to feel? And then break that down. And this, I mean, I did this a couple weeks ago, for the coaching program that I'm creating because I wanted to get really clear on that. I went to Barnes and Nobles for probably like 5 hours uninterrupted, phone on do not disturb, listening to my like classic lo-fi music, jazz lo-fi, cafe coffee shop vibes. Like I love music like that when I'm just trying to create the environment and mood for myself to connect with myself, and that's one of the best ways that I can do it. So I would encourage you to take that next step this week, sometime soon, and start there. And if you're someone that's trying to figure out what do you want to do in business, who do you want to serve, because that's what I was doing. I was spending time there. Start there. I would really encourage you to still start there too. Spend some time focusing on how do you want to feel, and then making your plans from that. I'm going to go deeper in this in some of the videos to come, but this was just top of mind today because I just had this like unction of just reminding people, don't be afraid to start over. If the current reality isn't working, flip the script. Like you're the main character in your life. This is your life. So often we're living a life for other people, and sometimes our parents, they've lived their life. I love my mom and dad. God knows I do. But my mom has had her 71 years to frolic and do things and try things and change things and all that other stuff. And so has Jerome. So as much as I love them, I'm like giving myself permission to explore the thought of living abroad for a couple months. I'm giving myself permission to explore the thought of, okay, would I, want to move here? Would I want to check out this place? Like, what does that look like? And prayerfully praying about those things too in the same token. But I'm just giving myself permission to live. That's what I want to do. I just want to live. I'm not in this desire of a rat race to like chase this corporate ladder and chase, these numbers and metrics. I don't have the energy for certain things. I like the energy of flow. I like the energy of abundance. I like the energy of what is for me is going to connect with me, the energy of who I'm talking to here. The right person's going to find this video. They're going to listen. They're going to need it. I like the energy of alignment. And I want everything to feel that good. I want everything. I want my waking reality and my walking reality and my living reality to feel in alignment with my health, with the environment. Listen, before I moved to North Carolina, I Googled which states have the most amount of sun and how much sun do they get. Now, obviously, we know North Carolina wasn't first. I'm sure you can guess who was. But I like literally looked at that because being a woman from the Midwest, Michigan specifically, beautiful state, we just have a lot of gloomy days. We have a lot of overcast. And that was always really hard for me as a younger person. Like when I was old enough to realize I don't really like this. I think I was in college and I was like, yeah, this is a lot. And so I want to give myself permission to be somewhere where it aligns and it meshes with what my needs are, right? So obviously most of my travels have taken me down south. I love the South. My mom's from the South. My mom's from Tennessee. So we got family in Tennessee. My dad, he has family from Georgia. So just, kind of all around, which is beautiful. But I love everything about the South. I love the slow living. Let me correct that. Almost everything. But slow living is one of the main things. I love the hominess, the feeling that I get connecting and meeting community. My community, my heavy community, a lot of them are down south. I love the nature, the trails, the trees, the beauty of like the fact that it was February on my birthday before and I didn't have to wear a jacket. May not be the case this year, who knows, but there's just so many things that I love and I've given myself permission to love them. There's also a really good book that I want to recommend to you. I don't know if I can pull this book down without the other books coming down, but it is called The Desire Map by Danielle Laporte. And I think that is one of the most beautiful books you can start with. I found her in 2015 when I was going through some transition in my life. With a relationship and just starting to become curious about my life. I was working in retail at the time. I'd spent 17 years in retail management. My degree initially was in fashion merchandising and marketing management. So I thought I was going to be whisked off to New York City and work with the big wigs and have this fantastic corporate job as a merchandise buyer for a major city. No, did not happen. None of it happened. I stayed in Michigan. I went to college in Michigan. And then after I was done with college, I got a job in retail and quickly got into management and never stopped until some years ago. So this book found me in that transition. I think I was managing at Lululemon at the time. And I was like, wow, this book is amazing. So I encourage you, if you get a moment, to read it. It's a beautiful first start if you're in this place where you want to allow yourself to feel, to dream beyond your current reality. You want to give yourself permission to start over. You may be a little confused as to like, okay, I have these feelings. I want to do so many things, but what do I do first? Like, where do I go first? I think it's a good guide for you to have and check out. So I just want to remind you, you have permission to start over. Start over. I will be 36 in a couple months and I mean, playing with the thought of living abroad means starting over, and I'm okay with that. It can feel a little scary at first because it's unknown, it's not familiar, right? You don't have always have immediate family right there, but I would much rather get over the scary feeling and experience it to die and leave this world and never experience it, or settle for a life that I was never really meant to live because I didn't allow myself to. That's the life after cancer talking right there. Because, oh, wake up call. That may be a video for another day too. But anyhow, that's all I got for you today, friends. I hope this encourages you. Let me know. Meet me in the comments. We're really growing community here. I'm replied to the comments. I really love connecting with you guys. If something resonates, I love hearing about that. I love just hearing where you are on your journey and just, what you're feeling and experiencing. And if you have even done this, like, have you started over? What age have you started over? What does that feel like for you? Like, where are you at in it today? What does your desire, what's like one feeling that you want to have for 2026? If you can share a word. I have a word that I constantly lean on. I don't typically pick words of the year, but I find that I'll have something that gravitates to how I want to feel. And I kind of do a pulse check with myself when I feel like I'm straying away from the path a little bit, to say, like, is this making me feel that way? That word has been abundance. That word has been abundance for a few years, and it's a mixture of abundance and joyful. And yeah, I've been sitting in that. So let me know. Meet me in the comments. If you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe. I would love to have you a part of the community. Until the next video, I hope you have a great night, and I'll talk to you later. Peace out.